If you live in Texas and kill these plants, you might want to stick to fake flowers. So I've been growing Texas native plants through brutal summers, hailstorms, winter freezes, and our seemingly never-ending droughts, and they're thriving. These plants don't just survive neglect, they thrive on it. No supplemental water needed, they multiply on their own every year, and they're nonstop wildlife magnets that bring butterflies and birds right to your door. Today, I'm showing you 7 Texas native plants that are practically bulletproof when you put them in the right spot. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly which plants to choose, how to use them, and why they'll save you money and frustration. We're gonna cover full sun champions, shade lovers, and hummingbird magnets that will replace your feeder. So let's start with the plant that loves Texas heat more than Texans love complaining about it. All right, so we're talking first about cenizo, or more commonly known, Texas sage. This plant is sometimes called the barometer bush, as it often flowers after or in anticipation of some summer showers. So we actually have a bunch of flower buds right now, and there is rain in the forecast for this weekend, start of next week, so we'll see if that comes into fruition, but it looks like this cenizo is actually about to burst. So when you see these vibrant pink flowers, just like I'm seeing right now, they're just starting to show, they haven't bloomed fully yet, rain might be headed your way very soon, so that's exciting. Cenizo is really the ultimate set it and forget it evergreen plant. Once it's established, it needs, in fact, demands zero supplemental water, zero. You might actually kill it, as it will rot with a little bit too much moisture. So I've planted mine in the hottest, driest part of my yard down here. I have many others as well. And after it was established, I haven't watered this plant once. I believe we've had this in the ground for 2 years now. This is coming up on the 2nd season. So it's growing profusely as well. It's fast growing. This variety especially, this is the green cloud variety. It most commonly grows 3 to 6 feet tall and wide, but it can grow much larger than that, more like 8 to 10 feet. It can have silver foliage, not like this one. That variety is typically the Desperado variety. There's a number of others as well, but I have the Desperado myself, which is a little bit more silvery, or green foliage, just like this one. This is the green cloud here, and you're gonna see that all year round because these are evergreen plants. So this is gonna be great for a front yard, hot area where you want some screen in evergreen structure, as I have here. You know, we're about 6 feet from the road, but this is a place where I want to start to create some cover and protection between ourselves from the road and our yard. The purple blooms are rare, but they really are lovely, vibrant, and abundant when they do come. The Texas sage will thrive in caliche, clay, dry, rocky soil. And the secret is really in its leaves. So they actually reflect heat instead of absorbing it. So while you might see your neighbor's plants frying in the direct sun, the cenizo is thriving. All right, on to the next one. What if you want constant blooms and not just after or awaiting rains? For you, that's the Esperanza. So the Esperanza right behind me here blooms almost year-round in South Texas, and I believe most profusely in the dead heat of summer, like right now in late August. So those bright yellow trumpet flowers appear from spring, potentially until the first freeze of the year. The Esperanza can be about 2 to 6 feet tall, but really can get massive, 8 to 12 feet tall in warm climates. I think mine might be maxing out on the 6 feet here. I have one that might be 10 to 12 feet out front, super tall. But interestingly, that one, this very, very tall one, struggles to bloom consistently. I don't know why. Aside from that, most Esperanzas will have constant yellow blooms for you. It's extremely drought tolerant as a West Texas native plant once it's established. It can even be container grown if you'd really like, but I do love putting these in ground, letting them to get to their full shape. So I planted mine in a very dry, rocky part of my property. It's obviously blooming right now as we film. It's on the tail end of its blooms here for the summer, but nonetheless, still beautiful. and it's done this whether I've done anything with it or not all year long. The only thing you need to do to care for the Esperanza is to cut it back to the ground after a freeze. It's totally root hardy, but you'll see it, essentially get that freeze damage from top to bottom above ground, cut that back to the ground, and it's gonna come back stronger and grow prolifically every single year. This is a single year's growth. Okay, back to the most brutal part of our property perhaps. This plant replaced my hummingbird feeder. It's the flame Acanthus. Once the flame Acanthus starts blooming, if it's the time of year when hummingbirds are in your region of Texas, they will show up daily. This thing is also buzzing with massive bees right now as we're recording this. So the more sun and heat that you give this plant, the more it grows and the more it blooms. Practically, this is gonna get about 3 to 5 feet tall. You might see this one here. This might be the max on its size. It'll accumulate the same width as well. It has these red, very beautiful tubular flowers, can also be orange depending on the variety that you purchase. The standard is typically red. The flame Acanthus spreads very easily. You'll see after years 2 and 3, little sprouts pretty far away from the mother plant as flame Acanthus shoots out its seeds with a pretty wide radius. So it's gonna bloom all the way from June through September, just about, really when summer onsets and the heat continues as we start to enter into fall. My best performing flame Acanthus is this one right here. It's in the spot that gets the absolute most punishment. It's full sun just about all day long. Of course, there's no irrigation, poor soil. There's radiant heat coming from our driveway, our neighbor's driveway, in the street nearby. But it's covered in blooms. First of the flame Acanthus plants that I do have, especially in contrast to the plants that receive a little bit of shade. They definitely don't grow or bloom as profusely, although they still do perform very well. They're just a bit more compact. So, in fact, putting a little bit of shade on it might be an interesting strategy to keep it a different size. Okay, with that, let's get out of the sun and jump into the shade. Now, if you don't have complete sun, or perhaps if you want to solve your problem of planting in the shade of a live oak tree, for example, then I'm going to introduce you to the American Beautyberry. So American Beautyberry definitely proves that native plants don't mean boring. These bright magenta berries appear in late summer, like now, it's late August, and they keep the birds fascinated, they devour them. I also have to keep our 2 toddlers off of them too. So, they attract young, wandering, interested eyes as well. The American Beautyberry can get 3 to 6 feet tall and wide. It can grow a bit bigger than that. I've seen on irrigation or along streams or riversides. There's some beautiful ones in the landscaped areas of the San Pedro Creek Culture Park. They grow much larger. This plant will thrive in complete shade to partial shade. We're pretty well shaded here underneath a beautiful live oak tree as we have many of them on our property. The purple berries, again, will show up in late summer to fall. The leaves are a natural mosquito repellent, and so you gotta crush it, take a healthy beautyberry leaf, crush it up, and then all you have to do is rub it on your skin. So actually, research has confirmed that the compounds in the beautyberry leaves are more effective than DEET in repelling mosquitoes. And so there are more complex recipes to be able to perhaps more effectively extract the compounds versus just the crush and rub tactic. And so perhaps I'll make a video on that in the future. But what a plant to have on your property, something quite multi-use, attractive, and interesting like this one. This is the Turk's cap. The Turk's cap is the shade plant that sort of doesn't really act like it's in the shade. These red flowers here, you can see many of them are spent now as we're kind of late in the season, will bloom for 6 months, June through December just about, sometimes even earlier. The Turk's cap can be 2 to 3 feet tall, but as you can see, these behind me are taller than that. I'm gonna put them at maybe about 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet here. So it can reach much higher. There are some varieties that explicitly grow much taller. I think those are the big mamas, the Turk's cap variety, so look out for those if you want them. They will grow. These have a little bit of sun that they receive throughout the day, so this particular batch of Turk's cap will grow much taller than the ones that I have in complete shade. The other ones are more compact, but they still bloom even in the shade. But the more sun, the more moisture that they receive. These are at the base of a rainwater harvesting berm here, the taller that they'll potentially grow. They're also edible. Our kids love eating these flowers. There's a little sweet taste from the nectar that you get inside there. They also have these little Turk's cap apples, which don't really taste like much of anything, but you can eat those too. So it's a fun plant for those reasons. They also have these heart-shaped mallow leaves, right? So they're part of that family of plants. So this is another hummingbird favorite. Between the flame acanthus and the Turk's cap, you might have hummingbirds all year round depending on where you live. So butterflies, of course, too, love the Turk's cap. So it's a pollinator favorite. So again, I have multiple Turk's cap groups planted in different light conditions throughout my property. The ones in deep shade still bloom very consistently, but are vastly more compact and slower growing plants, but they still look really nice in the shade. The ones that get some decent hot sun like these do, they grow rather non-stop. And I'll be honest, the trade-off here is that these end up looking a little bit more worn out and scraggly by this time of year, you know, late August, than the other ones that stay a little bit more compact and protected in the shade. However, I still don't have to give any of these plants planted in the shade, planted here in the sun, any additional water. So with that in mind, the maintenance is super low to non-existent. Let's go to one more shade lover. So this grass behind me, the inland sea oats, in my opinion, makes every other ornamental grass look amateur. I find the decorative seed heads here as they sway, both when they're in their green and more mature brownish, golden brownish stages, really elegant. So the inland sea oats really solve the what grows under my live oak problem. They also solve the what grows in complete shade problem, or what grows in damp, shady spots problem. These seed heads are beautiful. They provide movement and texture from the summer through the winter. I think they really start to look nice and unique and stand out as the fall turns to winter. So these are about 2 to 4 feet tall. These can grow in shade to partial sun. That usually means there's a little bit more moisture needed the more light that they get. You can even grow these in direct sun if you really wanted to, but they definitely need to be in a more moist spot that way. These don't get a drop of water. They are at the base of a rainwater harvesting berm here off of our driveway. So I've seen this berm filled up in maybe 1.5 feet of water in big rain events, and so these handle that quite well, and as a result get periodically much more water than other things elsewhere on our property. So these decorative seed heads, you'll see them start to emerge early summer, late spring, and they'll be green like some of these still are, and they'll start to turn a brownish, goldenish hue as they do now, late summer heading into fall. So these also spread to fill areas. You can see these seeds, they'll fall off and they'll start to germinate into new plants. You can also harvest them as I have done, and I've seeded them elsewhere on my property. It's excellent for erosion control. So anywhere that you need soil to stay in place, that's a great place to put it. You know, say where you have a lot of runoff on your property, or maybe where there's a slope on your property and you notice in rain that all the soil is just washing away. Inland sea oats are a great thing to put in the ground to potentially hold that soil together. So like I mentioned, I planted mine at the base of a rainwater harvesting berm here and along an AC condensation line, and they have absolutely exploded in both places. So from a management perspective, these can spread aggressively in good moist conditions. So it's one of those things that's either a problem or a feature depending on how you look at it. But like I said, I harvested the seeds myself for some plants elsewhere on my property. But of course you'll have to water those to make sure that they germinate and establish in the first couple of years. But with that, talk about a plant that will readily produce free plants for you. The inland sea oats are a great one. All right, y'all, so this last plant here can break all the rules really in the best way. Texas frog fruit. So this is a low spreading ground cover with tiny white flowers with purple centers. So some people, I don't agree with these people, think of the Texas frog fruit as a weed that can invade their lawns. If you're looking around in August right now, which I do, I see on some of my neighbors' properties, the Texas frog fruit is really the only thing with some visible life to it here in late August. And when you see the butterfly activity around your frog fruit, I think that you'll want to have it everywhere as well. So the Texas frog fruit can grow to be about 3 to 6 inches tall, and it continues to spread indefinitely. It's crawled out of this rainwater harvesting berm here into our lawn. So it has tiny white flowers with purple centers, which many are spent for us right now. It's been blooming all year long here in late August, but with a little water, I think that we could bring these back. I'm only showing you these plants right now at this time of year, late summer, when things look so fried, to say that these plants have so much success. I haven't watered them a single time this year, and like the frog fruit is here, although it's not its most lively moment of the year, it's something that has spread tremendously this year. It blooms all the way spring through fall. It can tolerate a little bit of foot traffic. I am standing on it right now. Sorry, frog fruit. And it's an absolute butterfly magnet. You can grow it in partial shade if you want to full sun. It prefers a little bit more moisture if possible, but it can tolerate drought, and you'll see it growing in some pretty dry places. Again, some people consider it a little weedy. It can be an aggressive grower, but I consider it a pollinator paradise that requires zero maintenance. There you have it, y'all. 7 plants that actually want to grow in Texas. For full sun, you have your Cenizo, Esperanza and Flame Acanthus. For shade, we have our American Beautyberry, Turk's Cap, and Inland Sea Oats. And then for some ground cover to get you started, the Texas frog fruit. Again, this is not about just working with easy plants. It's about working with Texas instead of against it. We are matching the right plant to the right spot, right? Put our sun plants in the sun, shade plants in the shade, water them the first year, then let their relationship to Texas nature take over. There's no fertilizer, minimal pruning, and then really as much maintenance as you choose. Start with 1 or 2, watch them thrive, and then expand from there. And if you want to go deeper on any of the plants mentioned here, I got individual videos covering them all. Make sure to check out my playlist on all those plants for propagation tips, companion planting, and any additional care. And then if you're just getting started with Texas native plants, I put together a free email series, 7 things I wish I'd known before starting with Texas native plant landscaping. You can head to coryames.com/txnative to sign up, or find that linked in the description below. And then finally, something exciting, I'm partnering with Pollinata's San Antonio area Texas native plant nursery on special plant kits for fall planting. So we're putting together some kits to make it easier to get diverse Texas native plantings in the ground. So make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, because we will be announcing those soon. All right, y'all, until next time.